Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by for today's live miss. I am so very excited to be hanging out with all of you tonight. If we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos like our very last live miss that is coming next week. All right, so tonight we are here to share goals, and I am definitely going to be talking a lot about like makeup related YouTube channel goals, but I am totally down for talking about all the goals for 2024. I thought this would just be a great way to sit down, get into a great mindset for the new year, and we can all just support each other because I love our little community here, and I cannot wait for all of us to, keep each other accountable, cheer each other on, and what better way to do it than with all of you. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. You know that Life Miss is near and dear to my heart because really for me, this is all about us just being able to come together and get to hang out during the holiday season. So I want to say hi to some people who have already joined in. Sandy, hello. I hope you are keeping your bones warm today. It is freezing outside today. And then, hey, Sarah. Okay, so Colorful Tales, can you tell me your name down in the comments? Because sometimes when people don't have like their actual names as their like handles, I'm always like Colorful Tales, and I would love to call you by name. So, hey, Lisa, nice to see you. And I'm seeing a lot of friendly faces in here. So I am so excited to get to share with you tonight. Mel, perfect timing. You and I can help with each other this year. We will have little check-ins maybe. That would be great. We should all buddy up. That would be perfect. We could all have a goal buddy. Hey, Stephen, great to see you. Oh, do not even worry about it. Shop. It's all good. Hey, Locke, great to see you as well. Thanks for stopping in. For all of you, if you have not followed Lock Maiden, she is super inspiring me as far as like makeup goals go, because I think that she is very conscientious in her purchases. She does great little beauty capsule videos, and just I can't remember which video it was recently that you did, Lock, but it was like, these are the things that I'm kind of wanting, but here's what I'm using instead. And I love that. And it's just a way for us all to, kind of like take a step back every once in a while, which is really healthy. Hey, Sensory, great to see you. Hey, Kelsey. So many awesome people here. So I'm so glad that okay, Shaz, thank you so much. It's great to know you by name now. All right. So, hey, Sarah, great to see you as well. So, all right, goals. So I thought a great way to get started would be to hold myself accountable and check back at our my 2023 goals. And I did do a mid-year sort of like checking in and sort of recalibrating my goals. So that is definitely something that I was like, you know what, halfway in the year, I need to take a peek. So I just wanted to share some of my goals that I had in this last year. So originally I said no skincare purchases until May, because if any of you saw my little skincare declutter and organization, this cabinet, it's actually this one right here, I'm flipped around with my laptop, but this cabinet is filled with skincare items. And some of it are things that I just outright purchased. Some of it is, beauty boxes that I used to get, different things like mystery boxes. And I was like, I have so much skincare. And we all know that stuff expires. So it's like, use what I have. So I went through and organized everything by category, if you will. And I've been getting through it. And I have to say, once I did my 6-month check-in, I decided to keep with it. I was like, I'm enjoying this. Like, first of all, you're sort of a makeup and beauty hoarder when you get really excited to use something up. Like, so many people are like, oh no, this is all gone. And we're all like, woo, I used something up. So I actually went through a good bit of that skincare stash, and it just felt so good that I was like, okay, we're going to continue on with this. So the one I would say like exclusion I had were things that I would be repurchasing that I didn't have. So things that I go through a lot, like vitamin C, my retinols. And actually all year I did really well. I didn't do any skincare purchases until I like sort of like snuck one in before the end of the year. Well, two technically. So when Phytosurgeons had their sale, and we all know Phytosurgeons does like what, 1, maybe 2 sales a year. I had just been hearing so many great things about the Verdant Force Field, and I was like, all right, I don't really need this right now, but I actually think that it would be good to have within, the next year. I'm like, I'm going to get it on a discount right now. So I did decide to pick that up. So that was one of my like, oh, okay, well, did I technically need that? No, but I did decide to get that. And then when I was doing my pharmacy purchase for a few other things, they had such a good deal. I wanted to try the pharmacy body serum, the AHA, BHA, like body serum. And they had such a great bundle price with the face serum. And I use that face serum all the time. I sort of flip between that and another one, depending on what's on sale. And I was like, I'm going to use this. I actually give it to Jeremy sometimes to use too. So I know we'll go through it. And it was like, the bundle price was just such a good deal. So that is literally all I purchased all year long, which is pretty awesome. And also slightly ridiculous because that just tells you how much skincare I actually had. So, I love that everybody's kind of sharing their names in there. That's absolutely great. Yes, Dawn, I am there with you. I didn't have Ipsy, but I had BoxyCharm, which is now Ipsy. And I did BoxyCharm for a little while. There was a short period of time where I did FabFitFun. And I also do the Beautylish Lucky Bag every year. And usually you get some like skincare goodies in that too. But like the other beauty boxes definitely gave all sorts of skincare. And I think for me, it just really made me realize, like, I think beauty subscriptions are a great way to, when you maybe haven't tried a lot or you are looking to try some, new brands or whatever. I think it's a good way to get to do that. But once you really know what your preferences are, maybe you have brands that you like to stick to, those constant subscriptions, I think you just tend to get like maybe half of the things that you're like, this really isn't something I'll even use. And so I just found that it's like, okay, so I don't do any of the subscriptions anymore. And right now I am trying to think about if I want to do a lucky bag this year. Undecided. If all of you are usually Beautylish Lucky Bag purchasers, let me know what your thoughts are this year. So, because I'm really kind of tempted. Also, I'm sorry if my screen flashes a little bit. Let me tell you, I am just sorry for the visual quality of these lives this year. Hopefully soon, Mac and Canon will make friends again, and I can use my actual DSLR camera. But it's all right. We might be low quality as far as audio, or as visual, but hopefully the content is high quality. Okay, Locke, you want to do the Beautylish this year? Yeah, I usually get some really great items, and then there are just times where it's like I find later that it's like I actually didn't really use that, or I ended up giving that away or whatever. So I'm on the fence. Oh, Cecily, you're a pharmacy lover too. I honestly, other than like the cleanser, the actual like cleanser, I think everything has been great. That one I was like, this is okay, but it's just not one that I like absolutely need, but I love their skincare so much. Okay, Steven says that they bought a bunch of skincare this year and it was all because of Instagram ads. Darn those ads. Didn't need any of it because you prefer a very simple routine. Yeah. Oh, ads. I didn't get drawn in to a lot of skincare or beauty stuff, but I got all sorts of other crazy stuff from ads this year. And it's like the minute you interact with it, then it's like it's on you all the time. So yeah. Oh, Dr. Sturm. Okay. I feel like I got a sample from this brand, but I haven't used a lot. Yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, Mel, you're gonna do a lucky bag. Yeah, okay. See, I know. I feel like, and what they do is usually you get like a bad bag and then a really good bag, and you're like, oh, I'm back in, and then it's like, and then it's a really good bag. I feel like they just kind of like draw everybody in and out. So, yeah. All right. Yes. Oh, okay. Absolutely. So, Locke, I do think that I will not be surprised if there are quite a few Wayne Goss items. For anybody who, by the way, like when I am watching live streams or like longer videos, I'm usually like popping in earbuds and treating it like a podcast. So I want to say the comments. So Locke said, I watched your previous video where you mentioned Wayne Goss rebranding. So I'm thinking of the products they're getting rid of may end up in the lucky boxes. So I watched Wayne's video and he was saying that, he was if you've ever watched, Wayne has been through some major ups and downs with his brands, with the brushes, with the makeup, and he was saying that like one of the big things was that for all he went through with the expense of the packaging that he chose, his vision and the way it was supposed to be was much more elegant, much more refined. And so he's partnering with two, I think they're probably basically like silent partners. And so Wayne said that, you know, things as they're coming out in the future, he's sort of doing like a basically like a rebrand. So everything's going to be changing in the future. So I could absolutely see some things coming back. Oh, Steven's wondering what the lucky bag is. So basically, this is sort of like a mystery box, Steven. And usually every year they have 3 versions. They have the regular, they have the XL, and then for some reason they pair with that individual whose brand I never want to purchase. But you usually have 3 different boxes that you can get. And I think that is it New Year's Day or the day after Christmas? One of those two, and they go like hotcakes. And so it's just like a mystery bag of different Beautylish items. All right. Yeah. So this is actually, so no lucky bag. I will just use the money to buy something I want. That's very smart. That's very smart because I find that usually there's one item in there that I'm like, oh, okay, this is worth half the box. But like a lot of times I'm like, but is it something that I would purchase? So that is probably the wiser way to go for sure. Okay. Oh, Sunsaray, I'm actually wearing quite a few Danessa Myricks products today. I filmed a sort of like makeup play date. That's going to be going up this weekend to get this look. And, you know, so good. I love Danessa. All right. So it's great to get, okay. So Mel says that the lucky bag comes out the day after Christmas. Thanks, Mel. So I did pretty well. On that goal of not purchasing any skincare. So my next goal for 23 was to organize my makeup cabinet and organize my skincare by category. So I obviously did the skincare. What I need to do next is there's a kind of cabinet down here that has all of my like little giveaway things, little freebies that I can throw in for people, just the things that I kind of like collect over time. And it is chaos. It's like an avalanche in there. So I need to like pull it all out and get it kind of organized. So that I did not quite do yet. So I'm not quite there, but maybe that will happen. I'm taking a few days off after Christmas to sort of like just do some organization and, you know, take a little time off and stuff. So maybe I will get in there. Okay. My other thing was limited lip purchases, just because not this year, but last year, I felt like I got so many lip items. And the things that I said that would be included are like brands like Lisa Eldridge. If she was launching new lipsticks, I was like giving myself a pass on those because I love her formulas. And I said absolutely no lip gloss. So I said to reevaluate my lip collection goals at 6 months. And what I said at that 6 months was that I would only do Lisa Eldridge until November. So the only things that I purchased this year that I remember, of course, I bought a couple of the I bought one. I bought one of the RMS Legendary Lips. No regrets there. I love that formula. The brand actually did send me a couple shades after that. It was funny. It came in the mail and I was like, oh, this must be my highlighter I purchased. And I opened it up and I'm like, oh, I got the wrong order. And then I realized it was a PR package. It was so funny. They just like timed out at the same time. And I really do like that. I also just joined the Lisa Eldridge Emerald Masterclass. And when you joined the Masterclass, you were able to get 10% off of your order. So I did just do a purchase. I got a couple lipsticks and a lip gloss, but they were things that have been on my wish list for a long time. And as you know, Lisa is sort of like phytosurgeons where sales just pretty much don't happen. So I took the 10% and I got the things that I've been wanting. So, oh, I'm seeing, I'm seeing what people are talking about, like getting here. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about Ensley Rain. That brand is on my radar, but can I just say, now I have not tried anything from that brand. We're doing like a little side note here, but I'm seeing people talking about Ensley Rain. Everything looks beautiful, but I'm starting to feel like they're sort of the color pop of indie brands because like, I feel like it's been like palette. And I'm like, I just need like a few months to be able to like breathe and get to enjoy a palette and see what people think. And then, uh, go from there. Like we just have constant launches. Oh, Mel's trying to call me out. So all of the city lips that I bought, Mel, is for gifts. So that doesn't count for me. So I do love them, but they have sent me enough PR that I'm actually okay for a while. But I did, all of what I bought was for gifts. So, yes, I did not mean. Yeah, for sure. I did not mean ColourPop as in prices. I just meant like launch, because like ColourPop obviously does a lot of launches, and I just feel like they've been doing so many. So I was like, okay, we need to like slow it down just a little bit. So that's what I meant by that. They're definitely not ColourPop prices. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, deck of panning. So I loved doing my deck of panning in 2022. It was a great way to use my collection up. And it was really more about using my stuff with deck of panning. It wasn't necessarily about panning it. But it was so much work. It was so much work. And it was like, I stopped filming it for content here on YouTube because everybody sort of like got the idea, and I was like, okay, we're good now. And I've really just been enjoying a seasonal shop my stash because I feel like that's actually letting me use things for long enough that I get an idea if I want to keep it around, and it keeps things out visually to use for the season. So I have this little like clear tower on my vanity top, and I was like, yeah, just seeing the stuff right here helps me. And so I've just been doing that seasonal rotation. So I just really have done that. So I don't think I'll be doing deck of panning in the future. Maybe in the future I will, but I don't see starting it up again. Okay, so my other goal was to do a 1 in, 1 out, and I started this halfway through the year. So in fact, one of them I showed like where it's like, okay, if I purchase 2 blushes gotta go, and I actually really like that. I think I sort of fell off of that just out of the like organization of it towards the end of the year, but I know that I will definitely be going through and doing some decluttering soon, so I'm sure I will make up for it. But the thing about deciding to do a 1 in, 1 out is it really makes you look at why am I purchasing this item? Like if I am purchasing, let's say, a blush, why? Like, is it because it's a color that I don't have, a finish I don't have? Is it a formula that I'm really looking forward to try? Is it different than what I have? And is there something that is in my collection already that I can get rid of that isn't serving a purpose anymore, And if not, if there's not anything that I want to get rid of, then chances are that I don't really need anything. And so I think it just also makes me like pause, especially if you have a collection that you're like sort of like tied to. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, but I love all these things so much and I just want to enjoy what I have. So it just made me pause a little bit. So I think I'm going to continue that in the future. For me, that works. I know that's not for everybody because, and I don't necessarily think that you need to like just be constantly cycling through things. But I personally felt like when it came to makeup, when I look at my purchases over the last year, I actually did okay. I mean, I definitely bought more than I would need because I already have more than I would need. But I'm not the girl who is buying multiple palettes every month and things like that. It's just, I got to a point, especially when I did my declutter for my eyeshadow palettes. And I was like, okay, you have all of these amazing palettes. You can use what you have. It has to be something special to be able to purchase it. So definitely, I feel like just looking at my collection and seeing the things that I hadn't used in a long time, it was like, okay, we're okay. We're okay where we are. Just going to check into the comments here. Okay, we're definitely like chatting about some brands. All right. So look, I'm assessing and deciding what direction and goals I have for my beauty experiences and purchases. Yeah, I think that that's smart to do. And it probably, it won't be static, right? Like it might change partway through the year. Maybe your preferences change. Maybe, you decide, actually, I think I'm good. I think I'm good with this, or maybe I want a little bit of this, or, different things. So I think it can be in flux as long as there's like a reason for it, Kelsey, you have to do a declutter and then a low buy. I think that there is something. I think there's something to when you go through and you're like, oh, this is expired. Oh, this, like, I used this formula and, I don't even really like this anymore. And I bought a backup at one point. Like, I don't buy backups anymore because, I guess I can't say that because I have this Honeymoon Glow that's technically a backup. But like, I have things that it's like, I love this so much. I'm going to order 3 because they're on sale. And then like, by the time I get around to using the next one, something else has come out that I enjoy more, So it's like, okay, it's so silly. It's like, stop the backups. So I think like doing a declutter and, things like that, it just really makes you look at your purchasing habits and even what you need or don't need. Cecily, I've been on a low no buy since last October. I cave for Odin's Eye Jewels and Gem, 2 of the Melt Zodiac palettes. You regret getting those, and replacements. Oh, you decluttered 100 palettes. Wow. I don't even think I own 100 palettes. That's incredible. So I have to say, when you were talking about you regret getting the Zodiac palettes, I have never used Melt. That is one of those brands that it just doesn't call to me. And I just hear so much inconsistency. And it's, it's not like a luxury brand, but it's also not inexpensive makeup. And I'm like, listen, I'm not here to play Russian roulette with quality of eyeshadows. I'm like, I can't do it. So I'm like, if it's not consistently good, I just don't have time for it. Yes. Okay. That is very true. We can use our lippies as blush. Absolutely. Oh, see, okay, this is great. So Shaz, you say, since I started duping stuff, the FOMO is getting me less and less. Absolutely. I had that when I duped the I Need a Nude because it was right after I'd gotten a bunch of Sydney Grace items. And that was totally like the vibes of all of the Sydney Grace that I had gotten. And it's like, okay, I can probably dupe this out. And, there are those other times. I can't remember. There was a palette recently and I was like, should I get this? Should I get this? I was like, I probably have really close to this. And I can dupe it out. So, and even just the exercise of doing that, even if it's not exact, you're like, yep, this is close enough. This is absolutely close enough. Sandy, you're going to stick with singles this year and add to your collection rather than duplicate it. Yeah, that's really smart. And I think that is the beauty of single eyeshadows is you are able to pick the things that are sort of like missing in the collection that you see as like your perfect collection. It is very easy to get drawn in. Like the singles community and, singles brands, like they are just so good at making these juicy, delicious swatches and, making it seem like you don't have this. And I've gotten things sometimes I'm like, I do have that. I actually have that from 2 other brands and I got it again, So it's like, it's good. And then at some point it's like, all right, we need to like put the brakes on. Stephen, you bought backups for some of the discontinued no bad palettes. It's one of those things where you're like, I love this so much, but it's like, when did you even have pan in any of those shadows in those Nomad palettes? Probably not, but trust me, I've been there. Like I've been there times where it's like, oh, I should probably buy another one of these because if it ever goes away, I'm going to be so sad. And so I absolutely get it. We definitely do that. Yeah. Jill, you agree with me. There is no consistency. I agree. I absolutely agree. All right. So sort of on the note of some of this that we were talking about, where did that go? Sorry, I lost my notes here. For a second, I thought I just deleted my note. I was going to have to shoot from the hip here. So my last goal for 2023 was to separate emotion from makeup and from brands, from being a creator and that collector mentality. Now I have to say, I don't really consider myself to have a collector's mentality. I feel like, like some people are like, well, I have all of the Pat McGrath palettes, so I might as well just keep going, right? Or things like that. I don't really find myself to be in that boat. If there's anything that I do, it's just, I love this so much. I want all of them, and I don't know what that would be. I actually do have one exception to that I did this year. And it wasn't necessarily the collector mentality, but the RMS Redimension Hydro Blushes, I have every single one. I have every single one, and here's what happened. When last year's, I think it was either the spring or it was last fall, winter, when the sale came at Sephora, and I was like, all right, I want to treat myself to one or two of these blushes. They look beautiful. I hear that they're so great. And I picked up Maiden's Blush and one other shade. And I opened up Maiden's Blush because that was the one I wanted, and it was out of stock when I went to purchase. And so then I purchased a different one. And then when Maiden's Blush came back in stock, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to open this other one. I'll probably take it back. I just want to try Maiden's Blush. And I fell in love. I was like, this is amazing. This is the most beautiful mauve cinnamon delicious face flavor of my life. I'm like, I'm going to use this so much. And then it just like spiraled because I'm like, I want to try this shade. I want to try this shade. And I love the formula. And I ended up just getting all of them. Now, when there was that little like sale with RMS and you could use the code and you could get them for really inexpensive. So I got them for very, very, very inexpensive. But did I need every shade? Probably not. Probably not. Have I used every shade? Yes. That being said, I now know as far as luminous blushes go, I need to go through my collection because I know that there are blush shades and formulas in my collection right now that I will not reach for now that I have those RMS blushes. But I also didn't need all of them. So that was the one thing. But as far as like, you know, you might love a brand, or honestly, you might connect with a brand owner. You know, you might just have found that you've really enjoyed a lot of what you've gotten from a brand. Or let's say there's a collab. I think a lot of us are like, oh my gosh, I love so-and-so creator and they're doing a collab and I kind of want to get it. But there are times, I've had times where I've looked at something and I'm like, I don't think I'll use that very much, you know? And I know people who are like, I just got this to support so-and-so. And it's like, I can guarantee you, well, I guess I can't guarantee you, but I bet most people would be like, please don't buy that if you're not going to use it. You know, like, so I think we do that sometimes. And I've definitely like stepped back from that because it's a business for makeup companies, right? And so we have to separate that emotion. So I think that I did a pretty good job with that. Face flavor. Serious, you know, you know what I'm saying? Oh, everybody's talking about Maiden's Blush, the RMS blushes. Yes. Okay. See, this is exactly it, Dawn. Yes. Mauve cinnamon delicious. That's exactly it. Oh, I am a blush goblin too. I am a blush goblin. That is definitely my one. Oh, you managed to keep yourself to 3 of them and the luminizer. The luminizer is so beautiful. Oh, I should have put that on tonight. Darn it. Oh, okay. What is this, Sandy? A coworker said nobody wears blush anymore. Obviously, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It was an alien who hasn't been on Earth for a while. Okay, Dawn, you have a weakness for Sydney Grace, Unearthly, Nomad, and recently Divina. Okay, so me too with a lot of those brands. I mean, you all know I have not only a love for Divina Cosmetics, but I also have a friendship with Deandra, who's the owner. And so, for instance, this recent launch, the Black Friday launch, where Divina launched the Fantasia palette, the eye bases, and the brushes. Coming up on Black Friday, I was like, okay, so here is, we have all 3 of these things. We have the collector's mentality. We have the, you know, separating from the emotion of loving a brand or a brand owner, and also the creator aspect of it. So when I was deciding what to get for Black Friday, I was like, I'm getting the palette. I know I'm getting the palette. Like, that was a hands down. I was like, I actually am looking for a new eye base. And I was like, this is a great deal. If they end up being a really good product, it's going to be a great deal. So then the brushes. I was looking at those brushes and I was like, you know, honestly, y'all, I have so many brushes. And especially before Black Friday, I was lucky enough to have a couple brands gift me some brushes. I purchased brushes. I already have brushes. And I looked at those brushes and I was like, that set is probably a great value, but it's not going to bring anything to my current brush collection. Like, I don't see anything here that I don't have necessarily. And so I decided not to buy the brushes. I did think for a second, like, okay, people really seem to like my brush reviews. Maybe I should get it to do a video. And I was like, I told myself a long time ago, you're never going to buy something just to create content with it. It needs to be something that you're going to use. It needs to be something you're going to use if you're purchasing it. So I didn't buy the brushes. Now, the brand was kind enough to gift those to me when I did my order, but everything else I had purchased. And then when I got those, I was like, great, I'm going to try out these brushes. And I think I gave my honest thoughts on them. And I said why I didn't purchase them, right? It's like, I have so many brushes. It's got to stop somewhere. So I feel pretty good about that. So, hopefully that continues into the new year. Oh, it was someone who only wore mascara. Well, I have to say, if I had one desert island item, it probably would. If it wasn't sunscreen, it would be mascara, Sandy. So that's it. Yeah, but here's the thing so Sunsaray is saying you can write things you buy off if you're reviewing them. But if it's not something that I am going to really use a lot and it's not something that I need, to me, it's still a waste. It's a product. First of all, the shipping of it, the actual making of the product. And so if I didn't think it was something that I needed, I still feel like it's, somewhat wasteful. So, but you are correct. All right. So let's talk about this upcoming year. So I sat down and I was like, all right, let's think about it. So my first one is to continue with no skincare purchases because I have really been loving slimming down my collection. I still have a lot to go through, so that I'm going to continue to use all my backstock, and again, continue to only purchase the things that I use up, and that I have in constant rotation. So, all right. If you saw my holiday video that I just did, HAUL, I talked about how I didn't really buy a lot of makeup, but fragrance I bought. Yeah. So I'm going to do a fragrance haul, but that is, I feel like, where a lot of my budget went this year. I just sort of got really into smelling yummy all the time. It's a sensory experience. It has memories attached to it. It's really fun. It can also be real expensive. So here is what I'm going to say also. I now have enough fragrance that I don't have a good storage organization system. So the things that I've purchased, some of them I just don't even grab for all that much because I can't find them. So no fragrance purchases of any kind until I organize. So it's actually this cabinet that I've got to go through. Also, finding a way to organize my samples and my full-size bottles. And then I'm going to spend the next 2 months focusing on using samples. I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. If it's going to be 2 days a week, I use a sample, or heck, every day of the week, I use a sample. By the way, Stephen, we need to get back on Scent Sunday. We both sort of fell off that train. For those of you that don't know, my friend Stephen Ford and I, we were doing Scent Sunday on Instagram, where every Sunday we share a scent sample, good, bad, the ugly, what we're liking, what we're hating. And life kind of got in the way. So I definitely want to get back into that too, but I'm going to focus on using my samples and no further samples, whether it's purchased, whether it's added as a freebie, in a Sephora checkout, no further samples until after that 2-month period. And also, I have to have everything organized. So that's just going to kind of set me up to sort of see where I am fragrance wise. You're lucky, Sandy. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, Cecily, you love fragrance too. Oh yeah, see. So and there's nothing wrong with loving fragrance, right? But there comes a point where it's I want to try this. I want to try this. I want to try this. And now I'm what could I possibly need? What could I possibly need? I have a fragrance that I recently started wearing more, and I'm oh my gosh, I love this. This is perfect. I'm this is that thing that I was looking for, and I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need anything else, right? And that one I'll actually be sharing with you very soon. I've talked about it before, but it has definitely become one that I love. So what I wanted to do before I get into the rest of everything. Oh, well, first I have to talk to Dawn about this goal because I think this is great. You have to use up 5 fragrances before you can purchase one. That's a great goal and you can do it. You know, especially if you use one bottle consistently, it seems to like really like make a chink in it. I love that. So what I wanted to share is what we're doing for a giveaway tonight. So for everybody that's here in the live, you are able to sign up for the giveaway. The form, by the way, won't be live until after this live is done. I still have to go over and like click it to accept. But I will be doing a giveaway for tonight, and you saw most of what was going to be in the giveaway if you watched that haul video, because I did sneak peek what it's going to be. So before I show that, I want to let you all know that since we're talking goals, I thought that tonight's emoji, because you do have to drop an emoji into the chat, into the live chat, to be able to go and fill out that form. So the emoji for tonight is the bullseye or the target, because I'm like, we're talking goals, we might as well use the bullseye, right? So that is tonight's emoji to be able to qualify for the giveaway. So if you aren't here in live chat, if you're coming after you're watching the replay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. But these live miss gifts this year are for the people who come to the live chat. So Cecily, yep, this one right here, y'all, in case you're like, what are you talking about, Kelly? This, Kelsey's got it, Cecily's got it, everybody's dropping them. Okay, so let's talk about what is in today's giveaway. And then I'm going to announce who won last week's giveaway. So in this week's giveaway, and I'm going to actually keep it. Do I have mine out? Hold on. This is the awkward part where I reach into my stash to try to grab it. Yes. Okay. So if you saw my holiday video, I was saying that I finally was able to get this brush from Wayne Goss that I had wanted. This is the F1. There's no 0. This is the angled cheek brush. And I put the wrong brush in my cart the day of the brush launch, and then they were sold out, and I was so sad. So I didn't get the brush, but my girl Zana totally had my back and let me know when Beautylish was doing a sale when they came and restocked. And what happened was I was able to get the brush with a complimentary face palette. So I chose to get the Sweet Wildflower palette. And y'all, okay, this was a moment of where I had collector's syndrome. I got all of the Wayne Goss palettes. I do really like them, but I didn't need all of them. So I have all of them and didn't need another one. So I chose one of my favorites, and this is Sweet Wildflower. So this is the one that's in the giveaway. I have not taken her out of her bubble wrap sleeping bag because it'll be sent out to one of you. So the reason I chose this one is I felt like even though this blush is fairly light, the fact that it's on the warm side, I felt like it could at least be used as like a cheek topper or an eyeshadow for people. And then this highlight, it just has this beautiful like richness to it that I don't think will look super, super frosty on the deepest of skin, but I think it will also work on the lightest of skin. So this is the one that is in the giveaway tonight. And also because it's another product that I have, I didn't get it out to show, but I have the Wayne Goss High Shine Gloss in Petunia, which is just a beautiful shade. So this is another one that I think will work on everyone. And I can't give you a face product without giving you a face brush. So the brush that is here is the Unit 302. I thought I would stick with the Beautylish theme. So this is a beautiful, big, fluffy brush. So these are the items that are going into the giveaway tonight. So that's what you'll be able to get. So for those of you that are new to Live Miss, there's a giveaway in every single one. Hint, hint, come back next week. But all you have to do is obviously like drop the emoji here in the chat. And then please like the video. I mean, you don't have to do that. I can't tell if you liked it, but that does, by the way, while we're here and I'm yammering, it does sort of like bump the algorithm to tell YouTube to show more people my video. And then you just have to fill out the Google form, which is listed in the description of this video. You cannot fill it out yet. I think I have it turned off, but after this video, you will be able to fill it out and it will be open until midnight tomorrow. So you've got the Wayne Goss palette and lip gloss and the Units brush, and that's the one that's going out tonight. All right, so before I finish out the goals, I wanted to share who won last week's giveaway, which was a very kind donation from my friend Deandra. So Deandra decided, now I actually bought a Fantasia palette to give away. I didn't know if I made this clear. I bought a Fantasia palette to give away, and when Deandra was like, She was like, you bought it to give away? I would have totally done that. And I was like, it's okay. I love doing that. So then she decided she actually is going to send out a Fantasia palette, the whole brush set, and the eye bases, both the Prelusion and the Specular eye bases. So that's who won the giveaway. Now, that being said, I have another Fantasia palette. So that one's going to be going into my 5K giveaway. So make sure you're subscribed so you'll be able to join in on that. And that one, by the way, will be an international shipping giveaway. So international entries. For today, it's US and Canada. So the person who won is Becky M, who is also Beauty Cutie 314 over on Instagram. So I'm really excited for Becky. I don't think she's in here tonight. So congrats to Becky. I will be DMing her after this. So I'm really excited that she won. And thank you to everybody who signed up, because I was really excited spinning that wheel today, let me tell you. Okay, so, and good luck to whoever wins the giveaway tonight. I appreciate all of you so much. Okay, so back to the list for this year. So I have also decided, and this is maybe going to be a hard one for me to stick to, because I feel like this is one of those products that we're always just trying to find that new holy grail. But I have decided that I am not going to purchase any foundations or tinted moisturizers for 6 months. So I am going to only use what I have. And the reason for that is I tried a new product today and I really love it. I think it looks great. You'll be able to see that in the video. But I have so many foundations that I love. I have tinted moisturizers I love. I have medium to full coverage that I love. And I have other products that I am really looking to just kind of like get through. And I'm like, why do I keep buying things? I'm not missing anything. I'm not missing anything. I'm just looking for the next thing that's going to evidently be the miracle. And I don't need to do that. So especially with what I have right now. So I'm going to stay with the foundations that I have for 6 months and see from there. So the only exception to this is that I have really been struggling with finding the perfect olive undertoned product recently. I have just found that a lot of what I have is either too golden for me or it's too neutral, leaning almost into like peach. So if I were to find the perfect olive shade for myself, I might purchase something, even if that just meant that I could mix it into some of the other foundations that I have to really hone it in for my skin tone. So if there are any olive, lovely skin tone people out there, hit me up if you have found some great olive undertones, because I just have not yet. Oh darn, I should have tried that out today. Ooh, I bought in the sale with my 20% off coupon from Sephora, I bought a new Haus Labs concealer shade because it's like a light olive. I was like, yeah, I want to do that one because I love the one that I have, but I feel like it's almost a little too dark going into winter. I should have tried that today, but I didn't. But anyway, so that's going to be one for me. So, oh, Dawn also says no foundations. All right, Dawn, let's be foundation buddies. Let's check in a few months and just make sure. And now that I've called myself out on that, if you see a video that I do and I got a foundation, you can smack my hand, but I really don't think I will. I just don't see the need for it. If you have watched much of my content, honestly, I'm usually wearing the same like 3 foundations. You know, I just find I have what I love. I don't need to go searching for that. So yeah. Oh, Mel, the perfect olive is so hard to find. Like, listen, I would like to bend a brand's ear about like, if you just brought out some more olive shades, you would have such a diehard following because it's like, that is a really hard one. So yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, Kelsey, probably. They probably all are. It's probably going to be, Katie Jane Hughes is probably going to drop a foundation now that I said this, because I love Katie Jane Hughes and that's probably going to be what happens now. Okay. So here we go. So, Carolyn, you say that you don't know if you're olive, warm, or neutral. So a really good way to sort of start, like a base is if you look at the veins in your arm, if your veins look more green, you are probably more warm or olive. If they are more blue, or even into purpley, if they're blue, you're probably more on the neutral side. If they look almost purpley, then you're more cool undertoned. Also, typically, people with brown eyes tend to be more neutral to warm. People with blue eyes tend to be on the cooler side. I feel like green eyes can be, kind of like through the gambit. Also, typically, in fact, I have, so at work, to talk about undertones with clients of mine, if you put up a piece of silver fabric to your skin, and then you put up a gold piece of fabric to your skin, you will usually know which makes you look better. And we tend to go towards the colors that make us look better. So a lot of times, most cool toned people tend to wear silver jewelry. Most warm toned or olive toned people tend to wear gold toned jewelry. Rose gold tends to look great on everybody because it's sort of in that like middle ground. So those are just a couple ways to sort of like, kind of like fudge it. You can, of course, also, like Sephora does that color IQ thing where they like boop, 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 and then they can usually give you an idea as well. So that's like a little tip, little random tip here. All right. I'm kind of looking because I'm seeing some different olive. Yeah. Okay. So Mel, I agree. I did try a foundation from Lisa that had a pretty good undertone. It's just like, the formula was okay. It was like, this is good, but I just didn't know that I didn't think it was like that good. I didn't think it was Lisa Eldridge price good. Okay. So, and I cannot remember, you told me in the last live, is it Eliz or Elise? And then you said the first one, and I was like, I don't even remember which I said first, but you can't buy more bronzer. You have too much and they all look the same. Yeah. Honestly, that is one of those things that usually it's like, if you have formulas you like and you have the undertones you like, what are we doing to ourselves? Right? For sure. Absolutely. Oh, an olive bronzer. That would be interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into this. Darn it, Lisa. I'll have to look into that for sure. Yeah, light olive. It is, you're right. It is, that's a really hard tone to find, and it definitely exists. It absolutely exists, but I think that most brands focus on like medium to deeper olive tones. Absolutely. All right. I love that we're all sharing in here. So after that, I'm going to continue with my one in, one out when I do purchases for the reasons that I just said. I felt like it made me very conscious of what I have and really made me search out the why of why I'm getting something, like, why do I need this? What is it about it that's going to be different than what I have? Because, we do tend to purchase. I mean, we might see a set of shades in an eyeshadow palette and it's like, this is such a great like mix of shades. And it's like, but for whatever, like $70, do I need this? Or can I pull out two of the palettes I already have and save that $70, and I know that sometimes we don't want to do that. Like, you might be like, no, I just want this one palette that I can take on vacation or whatever. And that might be a good reason. That's a great why for you in that moment. But sometimes it's like, oh, it's just because I love the artwork. And it's like, that's great. But like, really, we're not carrying these things around. Maybe if you sit them out and you display them, perhaps the artwork is worth it at that point. Like, I think good quality packaging is important as far as like the actual quality of it. And granted, we don't want anything that's like super ugly, but sometimes it's like, I can't just buy something for the artwork. I did a video at one point where it was like, the packaging got me. It's like, the packaging was the prettiest part of it and it got me to buy it and I regret it, so it does happen sometimes. So yeah. All right. So, let's see. Did I put anything? Nope. Okay. That's it. So I need to do here's one. Y'all need to hold me to this. Okay. I need to declutter my brushes, which is not the scary part, but I am putting myself on a no buy of makeup brushes for the next 6 months. So no makeup brushes until Jeremy's birthday. We'll say that. And the reason for that is because I have so many. And like, truly, just in the last few months, I I acquired so many brushes. Some I purchased, I purchased the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose set. I purchased the Wayne Goss. I didn't buy the whole set. Yay me, not, collectors or like creator love making me buy everything. And then I got gifted some great brushes, and I am good. I'm actually going to be sharing my thoughts on the new Lara Face set that they sent over. I am just good on brushes. So I am going to declutter the ones that I just never reach for. I'm going to pick out my favorite shapes. I am definitely very particular about my brushes. So the ones that are just sitting here and end up getting used just because everything else is dirty, that's not a reason to keep something. Being able to have more dirty brushes is not a reason to keep a brush. So I'm definitely going to be decluttering and stopping on the brushes for 6 months. I know. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. And watch now. Somebody's going to launch some amazing brushes. Now, of course, if I am lucky enough to be given PR from a brand, like oftentimes BK Beauty sends me some of their things, I will absolutely enjoy and review them. It's just not a purchase that I necessarily need to do right now. I know everybody's like freaking out. I know. This is like the shocker. I should have put this one at the beginning. It would have been the one that kept everybody like, thinking. Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about is just a general collection declutter, which is, I've kind of talked about that throughout this whole chat tonight. So I want to know from all of you that are here, if you enjoy watching declutter videos, do you enjoy seeing someone just like, should I just share what I've decided to declutter, or do you want to see another category by category? I think it's probably within the last year and a half, I did that where I kind of went through every category and showed you everything I have and then told you what I was going to keep and what I wasn't going to keep. Or are you just like, oh, just tell me the things that you decided not to keep? Because I want to do it the way that people want to view it. I just didn't know if it's like repetitive to show a collection, because it's only been 2 years to maybe a year since my eyeshadow palette one just went up like maybe 6 months ago. I don't even know. It's all the same. I feel like the last 4 years are all put in a blender, in the crazy blender of life. So my goal here, and I find it when I first do a declutter and I'm like, this is so awesome. I want to reduce the overwhelm. When I sit down, I don't want to just look into the abyss and be like, which of these am I going to use? I want to look and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to use this today. I want to reduce that overwhelm, and I just want to have a collection I can really easily enjoy. So I want to get to that point. Now, that is going to be different for everybody, I think. Like you might decide that 3 lipsticks is the perfect amount of lipsticks for you. You might decide that 10 is perfect. You might decide that 20 is perfect, whatever that is for you. And I don't know what that is for me yet, right? Like I have to decide that, but I need to get there. And then I think that gives me space to really hone in what I need to get, right? Okay, everybody's, I think most people are saying that you like to see it by category. So, okay. So I'm going to back up here and we'll chat now that I've just like poured my little heart out. So Locke, she says, sometimes you're able to stick with a goal if brands do not slap limited edition on the release. Absolutely. And I love it when brands say, by the way, this isn't going to be limited edition. Even if it's like, we have a small stock right now, but it's coming back. The FOMO buying is real sometimes. And so I do really like that. It's also, though, frustrating when a brand says it is going to be limited edition and then they bring it back, right? And Stephen, if you're still in here, I know that we've had a chat before where it's like you miss out on that limited edition item, quote unquote. And it's like, you know what? I'm still living my life. I'm still enjoying what I have. And you know what? I have things that are very similar to this. You force yourself through that, like whether it's a no buy or a low buy, or you're just deciding, I'm not going to get that at this point. And then you realize, like, I think we all have regrets of things that we didn't snag, but more often than not, we're like, okay, it's just makeup. It's just skincare. It's just beauty. It's just shoes. It's just whatever it is, right? Like, so if you really take a step back, it's like, it's okay. It's okay if I miss out on it, because something is going to come down the road that is its sister or brother. It's like, it's going to be close enough in the future if I still decide that that I want to do that, right? Okay, so Jalissa, that's your name, right? I think I said that right. So a good brushes. It is so hard to say a set, right? Like for me, as a true brush lover, I feel like if you don't really have much brush knowledge, a set is a good place to start. But if you're someone where you know the shapes that you like and things, I always feel like doing individual brushes is a great way to go, because then you don't end up paying for things that you don't end up using. Like for me, I don't want to buy a set of brushes, because if it has a huge brush in it, like a brush as big as my face, I'm not going to use that brush. I am not team big brush. And so the same goes for really stiff eye brushes. Those aren't my jam all the time, so those different things. It also depends, like, do you want synthetic? Do you want real hair brushes? Is it more just about budget for you? I will say I have a lot of great brushes from, like, I love Lara Faye. Now they're a UK-based brand, but my code KBR20 does save 20% off of those, which isn't affiliated at all. I just reached out to the brand and I was like, can we get something for people stateside that, like, lessens the cost just a little bit, because we're all so spoiled. We don't have to deal with international shipping prices usually. I do think that BK Beauty has some really great synthetic brushes. I have a lot of real hair brushes that I love. My Wayne Goss brushes, I think, are incredible. The new set is great. Refer has some decent brushes. I have a piecemeal that I really love. And that video, by the way, is coming soon. My favorite brushes. That one I'm going to get up probably during the week that I'm taking, or I'm not taking the whole week off, but during the days I'm going to film that, because I need to do a brush cleaning. It's real bad up in here. So I'm sure that I didn't answer that question for you, but I know that we have a DM going on Instagram right now. So if there's any other way that I can help you out with that, just let me know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's talk synthetic brushes in DMs for sure. Okay. Oh, Gina's hopping in here. FOMO purchases are real, and I did that for a few years. Now I try to dupe it from what I already have, and I've been disappointed in limited editions. Yeah. Like, especially, some of the mainstream brands, their limited edition stuff is not great quality. It's not great. Like, I'm thinking Tarte and Too Faced and some of those brands where it's like, what is this even? This is not even the quality that I want. So yes, absolutely. Dawn, there is always wonderful makeup coming soon and always a sale coming up. Hallelujah. That should be, okay, this is going to be our new mantra. There's always wonderful makeup coming soon. I don't have to get it right now. And there's always a sale coming up. Like, we can wait. We can buy the things in the future. That could be you cheering. I don't know. That could be either or, though. You could be like talking yourself into stuff or talking yourself out of it. I guess it just depends on the tone that you use with that. Yeah. Bye, Steven. Thank you. Okay. Oh, you're excited for the brush video? It's coming. It is absolutely coming. The reason I wanted to wait is because I did get so many brushes recently that it's like some of them I didn't think I'd love that much, and I ended up loving them. And some, if I'm like, ooh, this is going to be amazing, and I just don't reach for it, I wanted to be able to give, like a true honest thought. Okay. So Sensory, you're a Fude girl. Yeah. You tried my Kitco. So I remember seeing that live. You know what? I've got these Units brushes here. Y'all, I almost like kept all these Units, because the Units brushes that I tried, I was like, okay, these are actually really nice. They're really nice. I think all the Units I have are face brushes though. I tend to love a good real hair on occasion, and synthetic for the eyes. But yeah, so we just find those things that we like. Okay. Bye, Mel. Have a great night. Okay, so let's see. What do I have here? So two things that I wanted to share that are in regards to my channel. I am really going to try to stick to 2 videos a week in 2024. And most of the time, I absolutely hit that. Sometimes I do more than that. And what I'm saying here is, like, for the most part, if I happen to have more content, I want to spread it out a little bit more. I have to find a healthy balance in the time that I spend filming, editing, and the time I spend doing other life things. And for me right now, I really want to find more time to have healthy movement. I want to start doing some weightlifting again to just get super strong. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta like start getting up a little earlier in the morning, which means going to bed a little earlier. And I need to try to like piecemeal all of that. So I have to find what my new schedule in life is going to be. And as a creator, because I know that there are some creators in here, we know that it's like, it is hard out in these streets. Like, it is hard. It is a struggle. And I feel like for a while there, because I was pumping out more content, like thoughtful content, I'm not just like throwing stuff out there. It does bring in more viewership. And for a while, I was seeing a surge in my followers and my subscribers. And it's like, yeah, great. And it's like, oh my gosh, I just can't keep up. I can't keep up at this pace. And so it's like, I need to just pace myself a little bit better. And those of us who aren't full-time creators know that it's kind of hard, especially when things are launched. There was like times where it's like, okay, I have these 2 videos planned, especially like if it always ends up being a week where Kara and I have our BYOP, and I'm like, well, that has to go up. So now I've got these other 2 videos that are going up because things launch. And, people want to see it soon. And then you're like doing all this shuffle. And I just want to try to get to 2 videos a week consistently and try to stay there for a while. And if I do have extra things, maybe pushing them into the next week, because I don't think that people realize if they don't create content, how much time it takes. So it's like, okay, I gotta shave a little time off of everywhere to, be more thoughtful elsewhere in life. Now, that being said, I do have the goal. I'm throwing it out into the universe right now. I am manifesting this. I would love if I could hit 5K by April Fool's Day. 5K by April Fool's Day. It's going to be a stretch, like knowing what I'm bumping up every month. I think that we'll be close. So help your girl out, like a video, like this video, just because it's like, like I said, the more videos you do, the more viewership there is. And it's just like, I can't do more than 2 right now. This is where my life needs to be. I think we are all finding our new rhythm in life. Like the last few years were sort of wonky, right? Like we were doing all sorts of crazy things. And I know some people have moved. I know some people are getting new jobs. I know some people are trying to figure out like what life will be like now as their kids are getting older and all of these things are happening. And for me, it's like, okay, I'm kind of like getting back into the swing of things and I've got other goals. And so it's like, try and find those things. So I'm still striving for 5K by April 1st. So that is my goal. So just in general in life this year, I think for me, it is all about streamlining a little bit, still loving and enjoying what I have and being fine with bringing in some new things, right? That there's an energy to that. That's great. And, if you find those things that you need, it's part of it. So definitely just less chaos in life, more organization. Y'all, in the refer sale, I bought some of those organizers and I bought some other organizers to put my cream shadows in. Do you think I've even taken the time? No. It's like buying a journal or buying a calendar to keep you all like set and then not using it. So I need to take time to do that. I need to take time to organize. And I'm also just trying to organize my life in general. I think, and as we're talking about like makeup budgeting and things like that, I know that putting myself on a number budget, it's not necessary, but just having more mindful purchases. And I think in the last year, I did better with that, other than fragrance. That was my one downfall. But I think other than that, I did pretty good. But, everywhere in life, just being more mindful. And I think when you have goals of other things you want in life, so for me, it's like X time spent on YouTube, because my goal is to be over here becoming my strongest self. So for me also, like Jeremy and I just planned a trip for April. Fingers crossed, we have some things we sort of have to shuffle around to be able to go. But I'm like, okay, I have this trip in April. I would like to, spend some money on experiences this year, do a little bit more traveling. And unless like the universe is just bringing me in like spontaneous wealth, I need to like pick money that I've been spending from other areas. So for me, that's super inspiring, having that little goal. So maybe that's something for you that works, is like you want to buy a new couch and you're like, okay, so what can I kind of like shave off the top of what I purchase every month to get closer to getting that new couch, right? Or you're like, I want to go on a girls' weekend trip. Well, what does that look like for you, and what can you, kind of like reel in to be able to get there? So I think that that's definitely sort of where I'm looking at right now within my goals. Yeah, editing is so time consuming. It is so time consuming. Like I think as we create content, we learn ways to actually like film it that takes less time editing, but man, it is a struggle. It is totally like, we've got some great conversations. Okay, Kelsey, you think that 2 videos is good. Thank you. That's my goal. Oh, Sandy, you love your rougher organizers. Well, that's good. I'm going to enjoy them once I actually start using them to organize and not have them sitting here on the floor where I can trip on them. I'm like, one of these is going to break before I end up getting to be able to use it. All right. So before we go, does anybody want to share a goal that we maybe didn't talk about? I would love to celebrate your goals, help cheer you on. So if you have a goal that you want to share with the group, you can do that. Oh, yes. So what do I do for a job? So I am a professional hair and makeup artist. So I have my own salon studio that I work at full time. I'm also a national trainer for John Paul Mitchell Systems. So then the global hair care brand. So I do in-salon classes. I do content for the brand's social media, like digital content for their YouTube, for Instagram, things like that. Do travel for hair shows and different things. I've been lucky enough to be able to work on some of their campaigns. So different things like that. So I have my own business, and then I have my Paul Mitchell job. And then I also do this, which is not a job. It's definitely not a job. You know for sure that it's not happening. So I definitely have a lot that is going on. Yes. Okay. I am cheering you on. I know, I was actually looking at, your story where you were sharing everything that, you have been trying to overcome. So I will definitely be keeping you in my thoughts. So that is obviously, being able to walk again would be amazing. Thank you for sharing goals, everyone. So goal for 2024, more duping, more building custom palettes, and less palette buying. That's great. Like, I love that. I would also, have you ever thought about jumping in on our BYOP series? I would love to have you join, because Kara and I and all of the other creators that have jumped in have really found it to be super fun. And, building custom palettes, like that's what we do every month. So I'd love to have you hop in and do that with us. And it's like totally like open collab. So do the ones that you want and not the ones that don't inspire you. So I would love to have you come in on that. All right. One of Locke's goals is to maintain your current makeup organizer. Either declutter or now buying new makeup, but absolutely no extra organizers. Okay. Or not buying new makeup. I think that's probably what you meant. So basically, like, whatever fits in this space is what I am going to have, right? So, Locke, I'm sort of actually on the other side of that, because I want to get, just so I use them more, but like I have the Alex drawers, like the old school, like beauty YouTuber things, but they don't hold tall palettes like this. Like, I always talk about how I don't use my Blend Bunny enough because they can't fit in those drawers. You can fit them this way, but then they all like stack on each other. So I want to get a small set of like cubbies or something to put on the side of my vanity, so that I can put all of my tall palettes out, just so I use them more and they don't end up like laying on top of each other and never getting used in the drawer. But I hear what you're saying, because like I don't want like some massive thing, because then it's just, you're inviting more into your life. So that's for sure. Oh yeah, I'm a hair girly. I'm absolutely 100% a hair girly. I've been in the industry, what is this, 23? So 24 years now. 24 years, yikes. Ooh, okay. From Lisa, finished your latest book in February and have book 5 release before next Christmas. You are a writer? Okay. Will you share with us? Will you share with us your books? I would love to see that. I will share it here. That's really exciting, Lisa. See all these things that we're all learning about. Okay, Cecily, depot more palettes and make the packaging magnetic. You know, I give you a lot of credit because that scares me. Like, and I just know that I just don't have the vision to be able to use depotted palettes as much as I think I would, but I know so many people that love doing that. So that's a great goal to have, Cecily. That's awesome. All right. So, Locke, in talking about like things to look forward to or things to have goals towards, you do want to focus on experiences. You already have 2 trips planned. That is awesome. You want to add a few more. Experiences are much more fulfilling for me than things. Absolutely. That is one thing, like I was asking. By the way, if anybody has a suggestion, if there's something that they want to see for next week's live, drop it in the comments. I meant to say that earlier. I'm also going to put something on Instagram just for suggestions for next week. I have sort of something planned, but I'd be open to suggestions. Someone had suggested, oh, why don't you share what you got for Christmas? And here's the thing. I don't really do a lot of exchanging of gifts honestly, it's my friends that I exchange with more than like close family or anything. Because I'm always like, I just want to do experiences. Like Jeremy and I, we don't buy each other presents really. I mean, there are little gifts here and there sometimes, but like, we just want to do things. I'm like, let's do things. Let's make memories together. We don't need things. I obviously, have a lot. I have a lot. And so I don't really need anything. Sandy, I want to depot a lot of my palettes that aren't magnetic. Yeah, so to be able to use them as like single shadows. I know a lot of people really like that. Ooh, Sensory, you want to go to the makeup show. I think that would be so much fun. And then at the end of the day, I'd need to go sit in my hotel room in quiet and sort of like decompress from all the people. I am an extroverted introvert. Totally. Yeah, okay, so you put your palettes on a bookshelf. I could definitely see that. I don't want something quite that big. I just want something like little, like almost like end table sized. But I know a lot of people that do use bookshelves. Oh, okay, Sensory, find a part-time job in beauty. Good luck. I hope that happens for you. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Cecily, you're so fancy. You've got your palettes in an antique china hutch. Here I am talking about like getting some little thing. And you're like, I've got them in a china hutch. That's great though. I love that. Like put it on display. All right. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Message me for advice. I always love talking about hair. Okay. Oh, so we follow each other on Instagram, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it there. But, for anybody who's here and wants to hop in. So Kara from Beauty and the Frizz, we do a build your own palette every month, and she and I post our videos on the last Thursday of the month. Usually if Locke's jumping in, Locke posts on Thursday as well, but it's sort of like whenever. There are other creators that do it afterwards. So, and every month we have a different theme and we announce it in that current month. So not next week, the last Thursday of this month, I'm glad we have an extra week here, will be our Reflections palette. So we're sharing, and it's just 10 shades. So that's literally the only rule we have, 10 shadows. It could be whatever. Some people use actual singles. Some people pull shadows from brands, like out of palettes. You can do whatever you want. This is our Reflections palette. We've done it every year since we started. And it's sort of representing your year in reflection. So your 2023 represented in 10 eyeshadows. And then next month, if it goes well, we're planning on doing the Pantone color of the year if it's launched in time, which I think it would be. So that's just like a little sneak peek. I figure I can tell all of you what it's going to be. We usually, announce it in the video, but surprise, we're doing Pantone next month. Okay. Lisa, yes, please. I love this. Please, you have to share with me. DM me or something so I would love to read your books. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, see, Cecily too is saying share titles. We want to promote each other in here. Please feel free to share. Or, if you're like, no, like I remember, can I just say, like, oh, Cecily, did they launch it for 2024? I have to look. I haven't even looked. Um, so, uh, I remember when I started, this is not like comparing to you and your writing, Lisa, but I remember when I started my YouTube channel and I was like, I have 40 subscribers or whatever that number was. And I would not want to tell people. I'm like, I don't want to tell people. And Jeremy still is always trying to pimp me out. Like, I'll be getting coffee and somebody will say, oh, I love your eyeshadow. And he's like, you should say thanks. I have a YouTube channel, follow me. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm like, especially when I was like, thanks, you and 12 other people can watch my videos. Come subscribe. So, I'm not one to self-promote. So I'm not trying to like pressure you into self-promoting. Okay. Ooh, okay. Great. 2024 is Peach Fuzz. All right. So I guess we're doing a Peach Fuzz inspired palette. Now, that doesn't mean that every shade needs to be Peach Fuzz, right, y'all? Like, but it's going to be inspired. So we did that last year as well. For Viva Magenta. Isn't that what it was this last year? Okay, Peach Fuzz. Y'all know more than me. Honestly, I have been like not on social media a lot recently, so I feel like I'm like super behind and haven't checked in. All right, Kelsey, fellow business owner right here. I want to achieve a better work-life balance. Absolutely. Kelsey, I will be your work-life balance buddy. Let's check in. We can do like a 3-month check-in. Be like, all right, let's get real with each other. All right. Oh, you did. Oh, okay. I love that. I'll have to check that out. Oh, and I saw your comment back here. So honestly, you do not have to do the yearly palette. I lost your comment here. You don't have to do the yearly palette, but I will be honest. I did one, was it last year? I've had some hardships and I just threw it right in there. It's like, I'm just going to be real. And sometimes it's also good to just like be able to look back and be like, all right, but I got through that. Right. So, no pressure to do that there, but like I was like, yeah, I'm still going to do it. And also it was very cathartic for me to find some of the things that I could still celebrate. It is very easy for us to sort of like dwell on the negative. And it's like, all right, I know I have some amazing things that I can, really like celebrate here. And so I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a good experience for me, but I also understand not wanting to do it. I also, this year, I just feel like I'm kind of boring. Like, what can I talk about? Because this year wasn't really that different from the last. I could just do the same palette and do different looks with it. That would be super funny. That's not what I'm actually doing. Okay. So, oh no, but honestly, like I was like, this is going to be sort of a struggle. Like my last year was not exactly like a cheerful video. So it just was what it was. Okay. Yeah, seriously. So he right. Exactly. He's a supporter, like he just is always like, you need to talk more about these things. I mean, I think in general, and this is going to be like a generalization here, but I think females, we don't put ourselves out there as far as like, hey, this is what I have to offer. This is what I'm worth. This is, and he is always like, you need to do that more. You need to do that more. Like, put yourself out there, like talk about you, say what you can, say what you could bring to the table. And so I was like, so he always like pushes me in that way. He's a great motivator in that. Okay, here we go. I love this. Okay, so Lisa's debut book is Fae Touch. It's on Amazon. All right, let's go to Amazon. And also remember that for small indie writers, it is very important to review the books as well. I love that. Lisa, I am definitely going to be looking that. Okay, great. Oh, okay, hold on. You just shared. Oh, okay. That's so funny. So Lisa Ray Roman is your pen name, but your real name is Sherry. Well, now you just doxed yourself. Okay. Well, now I'm going to have to try to remember that. I will probably maybe call you both. See, all of these things that I'm finding out tonight with all of you. I love this. This is why I love these lives. Thank you all so much. Like this This just means so much to me. I appreciate you all so much. And I'm going to start getting emotional weirdly. Okay. I just really love this community that we have and that we all share with each other and that we support each other. And, like life is all about the connections that we make, right? So I appreciate you all so much. Okay. So 2024, I hope it's going to be a great year for all of us. I hope it is a year of achieving goals, learning a lot about ourselves, having some great experiences, and also maybe buying a great blush or two. Let's be honest. All right, lovelies, do not forget to put your emojis down in the comments here so that you are eligible to be able to fill out that form. I am going to go ahead and in the next 5 minutes, you'll be able to fill out that form. I'm going to make sure to go ahead and check that so that you can start filling it out. Just make sure you fill it out by tomorrow night. I had some people in last week's live who dropped the emoji but never filled out the form. So I couldn't put them in the giveaway. So just make sure that you fill out the form so that I can contact the winner. And thank you all so very much. I will be announcing the winner of this week's giveaway in next week, which by the way is the 26th at 7 Central Standard Time. So it is the day after Christmas. Thought we could all just decompress from the holiday stress together. And if you have any suggestions for next week's live, if there's anything that you in particular would like to see from me, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Some of the ideas that people have dropped, I do plan on doing just as filmed videos. I just want to lay that out there. But go ahead and drop them in the comments or shoot me a DM on Instagram. By the way, I'm Keep Beauty Real on Instagram as well. All right, lovelies. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you so very much. Thank you for hanging out for tonight's live. It really means so much that you take some time out of your day to spend it with me, and I will see you really soon. Bye. Have a great night, everybody.